Hello friends, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you'll consider subscribing to my channel if you're enjoying the instruction that I'm giving you. So today I'm going to be discussing my top 5 tips for violin learners. So tip number 1, make sure that you're playing on a decent quality instrument, okay? I'm a firm believer that you should be able to make any instrument sound good. However, if you're at the beginning stages of your learning, having a VSO or a violin-shaped object is not going to be very helpful. In fact, it might make it harder for you. Learning how to produce a good tone is so much easier on a higher quality instrument. If at all possible, I would suggest renting an instrument because you do get to play on a higher quality instrument for less money. I actually have a whole video discussing how to choose a violin, and I will leave that linked down below. Tip number 2, invest in a good teacher. I can't tell you how many students that I've talked to that say, oh, I'm just gonna learn the basics first and then I'll get a teacher. It needs to be the opposite, okay? You do not want to develop any bad habits right from the very beginning. The very beginning stages are the most important time to have a teacher because they can get you set up correctly. They can make sure that you have a strong technical foundation so that you can play any piece that your heart desires, okay? When you're self-learning, you know, it's so hard to tell if you're doing it right. Also, there's so much conflicting advice out there that it can be hard to know what advice to take and what to ignore. So if at all possible, I highly recommend working with a teacher, and not just any teacher, a teacher that supports you and your goals. So that kind of leads me into the third point, ties in together. Have clear goals. Why do you want to play the violin? Really think hard about that. Especially with adult learners, there has to be some underlying reason, okay? So you need to think about why you want to play it, and then your goals. Do you have a certain piece that you want to be able to play? Do you want to be able to do vibrato? Do you want to be able to play a duet with your friend, okay? So have clear goals and then communicate those with your teacher and make sure that you and your teacher share the same vision, and that way your teacher can best help you reach your goals. By the way, if you are looking for a teacher, my email is linked down below. You can just shoot me an email and we can set up a free trial lesson. The 4th tip is to celebrate the little wins, okay? Sometimes it can be hard for us to realize when we're making progress. We are with each other, with ourselves, should I say, every single day. And it can be really hard to tell the very small progressions that ultimately lead up to big progress. Each of the little wins stack up on top of each other, and then, like I said, that leads to big progress. So things that you think might not be a big deal, maybe you practice 5 days this week instead of 3 days. Maybe you're finally getting more comfortable with using your pinky finger. Or maybe you're finally not having to write the finger numbers in all of your music. Those are huge, and that is progress right there, and that is worth being celebrated. So celebrate the little wins. Try not to get too frustrated when things aren't going right. Which kind of leads me into the 5th point, be patient. This is a lifelong journey. You are not going to sound how you want after a month of learning, okay? And remember that we all learn at our own pace. A lot of times what will happen is we'll feel like we've plateaued, like we're just not getting any better, and then all of a sudden we will shoot up, okay? So have patience with yourself, be graceful, gracious with yourself, and as long as you're trying your best, there's really nothing else that you can do. I hope this was helpful. If you have any other tips that you'd like to share, please feel free to drop them below, and thank you for watching.